Hello and welcome again to the HR section of the Management Channel. Today we're going to look at something a little more in depth in HR, and it's called job analysis. So what we're looking for is we want to learn what a job analysis is, the parts of it, and how that info is used by HR. We want to explain how the data for a job analysis is collected. We're going to look and identify and define various sections of job descriptions, examine the job characteristics that motivate employees, and we're going to take a look at some of the different types of work schedules being used today to motivate employees. So, first of all, what is the objective of the human resource strategy? Well, the objective is to manage labor and design jobs so that people are effectively and efficiently utilized in the production. It ensures that people are utilized effectively and that people have a reasonable quality of life in an environment of mutual trust and respect. There are constraints on human resource strategy, and you can see from this chart, you need to know the product strategy, the skills needed, talents needed, schedule, when, what time of the year, what time of the day, their location strategy to include the climate, temperature, noise, air quality, the process strategy, the technology and machinery and equipment used, and most important, safety, which we'll cover in an upcoming topic. We want to look at the individual differences, the strength and fatigue information, processing and response, and then lastly, layout strategy. Is it a fixed position? What's the process? Is it an assembly line, a work cell? And really important, what is the product? So the term job analysis is a systematic process of collecting information about all of the parameters of a job, the basic responsibilities, behaviors, skills, and the physical and mental requirements of the people who do that job. It should also outline the tools needed to do the job, the environment and the times at which it needs to be done, with whom does it need to be done, and what is the outcome or performance level that it should produce. There are two employment stability policies. Number one, follow the demand exactly. Match the direct labor costs to production. It incurs the costs of hiring and termination, unemployment insurance and premium wages like overtime and so forth, and labor is treated as a variable cost. Now, a job description is a statement of the tasks, duties, and responsibilities of a job that is to be performed. Job specifications, on the other hand, is a statement of the needed knowledge, skills, and abilities of the person who's going to perform that job. Since the Law Act of Griggs versus Duke Power and the Civil Acts of 1991, job specifications used in selection of a new candidate must relate specifically to the duties of the job, and that's it. All right, the second employment stability policy is to hold employment constant. Maintain a trained workforce. And you want to minimize your hiring, minimize your layoff and your unemployment costs. Employees may be underutilized during slack periods. And in this case, labor is treated at a fixed cost. So the functions affected by job analysis include the strategic planning, workflow analysis, and job design, recruitment and selection, performance appraisals process, the compensation management, and of course the OSHA and legal EEO compliance. Job analysis data can be obtained in several ways: through interviews by interviewing individual employees who do the jobs, and managers who manage those jobs to get the specifics and parameters. It could be done by questionnaires to be filled out by the individual employees who work that position, thus answering questions on the particulars of the job. It can be done by observation, by learning how they work and observing and recording their activities to review later. And one that is very seldom used is a diary. Job holders are asked to keep diaries of work activity for their entire work cycle with specific times and duties. So the sources of a job analysis is varied. and I'm going to leave this chart up here for a moment so that you can look at it. I'm not going to read every one of them. You may pause this so that you can read it more in depth. But these are all the important indices of a good job analysis. So what is a functional job analysis? It's an approach that utilizes an inventory of the various types of work activities that can constitute any job. The position analysis questionnaire has approximately 200 different tasks that, by means of a 5-point scale, seeks to determine the degree to which different tasks are involved in performing a job. Critical incident method is an analysis method by which important job tasks are identified for job success. And then the task inventory analysis is more of an organization-specific list of tasks and their descriptions used as a basis to identify components of jobs. The competency-based analysis is a method relying on building job profiles that look at not only the responsibilities and activities of the jobs that a worker currently does, but also the competencies or capabilities they need to do them well and adapt to new job challenges. So you want to specify who can do what, when they can do it, or how they can do it, under what conditions they can do it. Sometimes it results from a union contract restricting how much an employee can do in a certain work period. And it restricts the flexibility in assignments and consequently the efficiency of the production. The key elements of a job description are the job title. It indicates the job duties and the organizational level that they're in. It distinguishes jobs from all other jobs by identifying it. It provides the essential functions indicating the responsibilities entailed and the results that are wanted to be accomplished. And then the job specifications, skills required to perform the job, and the physical demands of that job. So this chart here shows you basically what I just told you: the job title, the job statement, what it is and what it is to be done, and then the essential functions are listed. Key elements of a sample job description. Here are the job specifications for your college or university degree. Detailed knowledge of the principles of employee selection and assignment of personnel, and so on down the line. These steps were taken to prepare a job description for the position of a housekeeper in a hospital. And as you can see, there's quite a few steps required there. If you wish to pause, you may do so to read these. Now, the problems with job descriptions are, if they're poorly written and they use vague rather than specific terms, they don't provide much guidance to the job holder. And the other problem is they are sometimes not updated as job duties or specifications change. They may violate the law by containing specifications that are not related to the job success. And they can limit the scope of activities of the job holder, reducing the organization's flexibility. So the job characteristics model is a job design theory that purports that there are 3 psychological states of a job holder resulted in improved work performance, internal motivation, and lower absenteeism or turnover. So the job characteristics should be the skill variety, the task identity, the task significance, autonomy, how much are they on their own, and provide some feedback. The psychological states are meaningfulness of the work performed, responsibility for the work outcome, and to have knowledge of the results of the work performed. The job outcomes then hopefully are to improve work performance, increase internal motivation, lower turnover, and lower absenteeism. Job enlargement is a process of adding a greater variety of tasks to the job. Job rotation is a process where employees rotate in and out of different jobs, or as we call it, cross-training. And there's great benefit to having an employee who knows how to do multiple procedures. Job enrichment is enhancing a job by adding more meaningful tasks and duties to make the work more rewarding or satisfying. Employee empowerment. This is giving employees the power to initiate any change and thus encouraging them to take charge of what they do. Be responsible for the work that they're performing. Job crafting is a naturally occurring phenomenon where employees mold their tasks to fit their individual strengths, passions, and motives much better. Employee engagement is a situation in which workers are enthusiastic and immersed in their work to the degree that it improves the performance of their company. So you should have some motivation and incentive systems, like bonus, cash, or stock options. Profit sharings, profit for distribution to the overall group of employees. Gain sharing, rewards for improvements. Incentive plans, typically based on production rates. And knowledge-based systems, reward for particular knowledge or skill set. Work schedules vary. The standard work schedule obviously is 5 8-hour days, Monday through Friday. Flex time is something that allows employees within limits to determine their own schedule. A flexible work week may be fewer but longer days, for instance, 4 10-hour days instead of 5 8-hour. Part-time would be fewer, possibly irregular hours. So what do they mean by flex time? It's working hours that permit employees the option of choosing their daily starting and quitting time, provided that they work at a set number of hours per day or week. A compressed work week is shortening the number of days in the work week by lengthening the number of hours worked per day. And again, that would be the example of 4 10-hour days instead of 5 8-hour days. Job sharing is an arrangement where 2 part-time employees perform a job that would otherwise be held by 1 employee. So they both are filling a 40-hour-a-week job, but maybe one is working 24 and the other is working 16. Telecommuting. It's known as remote work. It's a flexible work arrangement that allows employees to perform their job duties from home or another location outside of the traditional office, obviously using technology, the internet, etc., to communicate with their employer and colleagues. Labor standards. Effective manpower planning is dependent on a knowledge of the labor required. Labor standards are amount of time required to perform a job or part of a job. Accurate labor standards help determine labor requirement, costs, and what is considered to be fair work for each employee. And it's necessary for determining the staffing requirements. How many people do we need, when, and how many times a week? So, meaningful standards help determine, number 1, labor content of items produced, the staffing needs, cost and time estimates, what is the crew size and what is the crew size required for a good work balance, what's the expected production, is there a basis for wage incentive plans, and the efficiency of those employees. May be set in 4 ways. 1, by historical performance or experience. 2, by doing time studies. 3, by a chart or a listing of predetermined time standards based on experience in the complex, or done by what's called work sampling, and we'll define that soon. Defining historical performance, we want to look at how the task was performed the last few times. It's an easy and inexpensive way of looking at it. The data is available from production records or time cards. The data is not an objective and it could be inaccurate. It's not recommended to use this. Well, here's what we've done in the past, and this is what we should do in the future. So, next, ladies and gentlemen, to gain more on time standards and work sampling, I suggest you look at the job design section. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a great day.